Guess whose birthday it is? That's right, it's my birthday! And you wanna know how old I'm turning? 26! Oh god. That means I am older than the Nintendo Wii, Hatsune Miku, and the PlayStation 2. Oh god. That makes me feel ancient. A lot of people think that the moment you turn 20 is where you have to actually figure shit out. And sure, it is to a degree, but here are some things that I wish I knew before turning 20. As officially a 26-year-old. God, I do not feel like I'm 26 at all. So yeah, one thing that I wish that I knew before turning 20 was, you don't have to have every section of your life figured out. For a long time, I had no idea who or what I wanted to be. Even in high school, when a lot of teachers asked me what job I wanted, I was like, I don't know. I just don't know. And you know what? That's okay. Not knowing what your plan in life is right now, isn't a bad thing. Just because you turn 20-something, it doesn't mean that it's game over. That's another thing I wish I knew. I wish that I didn't put so much pressure on myself, to become successful and to get somewhere in life. And sure, being determined and headstrong is a really good thing, right? And striving for success is not a bad thing. But thanks to the power of social media, I felt like I had to be an epic girl boss before I turned 30. And as I said in my touch grass video, I don't really feel like that's really necessary. I feel like social media gives this illusion that you have to be something before you turn 30. Because the moment you're in your 30s and whatever, a lot of people assume that, hey, you're no longer gonna be successful as a young person, which is the stupidest load of crap I have ever heard in my entire life. There are so many famous painters who didn't get famous until they were in their 80s, okay? Seriously. People need to understand that your life isn't over by the time you turn 30, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to be really successful by then. But that's the thing, you don't need to be successful by the age of 30, you can just be. It's okay to not have everything figured out, so let your 20s be that moment in your life where you figure everything out, because, dude, I'm still figuring my stuff out. I'm still trying to figure out, what kind of clothes I really like to wear. I'm trying to figure out my fashion sense. I'm learning makeup, by the way. Oh yeah, that's something I never got to tell people. It's never too late to try new things, okay? Just because you're in your 20s doesn't mean you can't try new things, alright? I was never into makeup for a long time. The reasons why I didn't wear makeup was because it wasn't really something I felt bothered to do or conflicted to do. Because to me, it just felt like a waste of time. What's the point if you're going to wash it all off anyway? But very recently, when I've moved out on my own, I discovered the power of makeup. And not in a forced way. I kind of just realized one day that makeup is like face paint, but for adults, and it kind of really changed my perspective on things, I always liked getting my face painted as a kid, and sure, I didn't like the feeling of dry paint on my face, but I also liked getting the fun designs on my face, so there's that, I guess. And while my makeup skills are very lackluster at best, it made me realize why people enjoy makeup. It's because it makes you feel like a pretty princess. Aww, sparkle sound effect here. And, and that was when it made me realize it's never too late to try new things. A lot of people hit the end of their 20s and they automatically assume that time's run out and they no longer have the time to learn a new skill anymore. And to that I say, screw that mindset. It doesn't matter what age you are. You're allowed to try something new, you know? Like, don't feel like you have to be an expert at something straight away, because, spoiler alert, it's okay to suck at things sometimes. It's okay to not be good at hobbies for the first time. It's okay to be bad at something. And, you know, another thing that I have been preaching recently, I guess, on my channel is the best version of yourself that you can be is your true self. You. Yes, you. Your actual self. Not like a cooler version of yourself, but actually you. And once you kind of get out of that like mentality that you have to be a certain way, life's great. Because when I was in high school, I felt like I had to be kind of, I don't know, how do I put it? I felt like I had to act a certain way. Like, I felt like I had to, you know, make everyone, like, how do I put it? I felt like I had to mask a lot, and this is the first time I'll probably ever be public with this, but I am on the spectrum, the autism spectrum, and I always felt like that I had to hide a lot of my hobbies, a lot of my interests, and all in all, kind of hide who I truly was behind, like, a mask. And, you know, hide all these things about myself in order for people to like me. But spoiler alert, you actually don't need to do that. Like, the moment you're out of school, suddenly you will find your people who are just as fun as you are. Like, when I was in high school, I was a loser, okay? And to a degree, I still am a loser. And I'm proud to say that, you know, because I feel like if you're trying to be cool, you're trying to be someone you're not, you know? And that's not fun. That's really draining because, you know, I never really bothered with trends because of this one story. In Australia, we have a shop called Super 8, and at the time, all of the cool girls went to Super 8. So I wanted to try my hand at going to Super 8. And at the time, they had a trend where you wore a crop top with a singlet top underneath. And of course, I bought a crop top with a singlet top underneath. Went to the store again. Yeah, like, actually, I was, like, trending last week. Yeah. If I have to keep buying something over and over again just to appear cool in the eyes of strangers, it's not worth it. At that rate, you may as well just wear what you like and say screw this stuff. Just wear the stuff you like and be the person you want to be. Don't try so hard to be like all these other people online, in person, whatever. You know, people's definition of cool is different from one person to another. I find Sonic the Hedgehog really cool, but my best friend finds him super annoying because he's like, yeah, alright, woo, let's go, all the time. And I totally get it, honestly. His voice can be a little bit much at times, but still, I find Sonic to be really cool. Something else that I realized around my 20s was it's okay to ask for help. Way too many times was I stubborn and said, oh no, I got this, I can do this myself. You know, for a long time I felt like saying, hey, I need help was a sign of defeat, like waving a surrender flag saying, please save me, somebody. But sometimes you do need help, and that is not something to be ashamed of. You know, and people are so quick to judge, right? You know, it's so silly. But one thing that I realized was that asking for help is okay, whether it's for something that you're stuck on or for like a project. Just asking for help in general is such a valid thing. don't feel ashamed for saying, hey, I need help with this, because just because you hit the big 2-0 doesn't mean that you have to do everything on your own. And, that's that, I guess. Something that I realized too was I was incredibly hard on myself, and it was not fun. So I was incredibly hard on myself, and I had a lot of self-doubt, and sometimes I was my very own worst boss, right? My very own toxic boss, sometimes I was. And, there were days where I had to sort of gentle parent myself a little bit, because I would be so harsh, like whether it's not finished a webcomic page or not eating until I completed at least a page. If you're hard on yourself, then you're not really going to have a great time, aren't you? If you're doing something, make sure it's because you want to do it and not because you feel like you have to do it. There have been days where, I have done my webcomic and it's not because I want to, it's because I need to. And while you do need that discipline from time to time, if you're constantly forcing yourself to your computer to draw something when you really do not feel like it, maybe it's time to take a step back. There's no shame in taking breaks and doing some self-care, Whether that's stepping away from the computer and sitting outside in the sun, or taking a short walk, because sometimes what you really need is to just step back from it for like 5 minutes. And then you can look at it again with fresh eyes and go, oh, I see, so that's what I needed to fix. So don't be so hard on yourself, and screw self-doubt. Because the last thing you want to be is your own worst enemy. And that leads me to my final thing. To be cringe is to be free. You probably heard this a few times, but I feel like it's a very true statement. I know it kind of ties in with the last point we just said, but, I think that in a way, it's okay to be cringe. It's okay to like things that are lame and nerdy. Like, I used to think people who liked Dungeons & Dragons were absolute nerds. But yet, ironically, here I was making up my own OCs, writing stories for those OCs, and doing almost the same thing. Online. So, Pinky of the past, you were a big hypocrite, weren't you? My point being that there's no point in trying to be cool, because the best version you can be is you. And I mean that in the most sincere way possible. If there's a game that you like or whatever, but you're worried that people are gonna think you're lame for liking that thing, oh well, tough stuff. Because if they don't like you after you say, hey, I like this thing, they're not really your friend, are you? And you might even find your own crowd of people who like you for you, not just for a mask you put on or for how well you seem to perform around other people. You are so much more than that. Like that lame thing. Like that thing. Who cares if people make fun of you for it? Just be yourself. And I know that's a really cheesy thing to end on, but I've been trying to be in my self-love era, because I never really liked the autistic part of myself, and I'm very slowly trying to learn to love and accept that side of myself, and that I'm so much more than just a diagnosis that has been slapped on my forehead. I'm a human being. In other words, don't hate yourself. You're cool. Okay, look, I might not know you in person, but I feel like that if you watch my videos, you're automatically cool. Okay? You don't even have to prove anything to me. And, oh, but Pinky, I like this really lame thing. Shut up. It's not lame. I want to hear you info dump about it. So, if you have a special interest, if you have something that you want to info dump in the comments below, I happily encourage it. I don't care if you copy and paste the Five Nights at Freddy's lore into my comment section. I don't care if you post your OC's lore in the comment section either. I am okay with it. Just know that, you're not alone. You might think time is running out. But buddy, you've just started. Think of this as a new beginning. Not as, oh my god, I've run out of time. I can't do this, I can't do that. Your life is just getting started. So what are you waiting for? If you have that one thing you want to do and you feel like you're a bit unsure, do it scared, my friend. I did my webcomic scared, okay? I was scared I was going to get into cringe compilations, and here I am with a webcomic, okay? Same with YouTube. I did that completely terrified. My point is that this is my last point in this point in particular. Do it scared. Whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, just do it scared. You're gonna thank yourself later. Okay. I think that's everything. Have a good day. And even if you're not having a good day, that's cool too. Make sure to love yourself. Make sure to buy that special treat. Buy yourself a cookie, you deserve it. And I hope you'll have a good day. And be kind to yourself. Bye.